And we are ready for game number 2 of this Acer TeamStory Cup match between Team Acer and Millenium. Spawning in the top left position as your red Zerg player. Using an Iron Squid account for whatever reason. It is Acer's Scarlet. And spawning in the bottom right position as the blue Terran player. Coming in from Millenium, his old OGS account. It is ForGG, who's currently up 1-0 in this best of 9 team league match after pretty decisively taking out MMA with some really nice aggression. And I want to say, I guess, counter aggression is probably one of the best ways to put it. So as far as what we've been seeing from these players recently, Scarlet, of course, you know, still living in Korea. We are playing this match in particular. We had to switch to the Korean server, which was part of the reason for the delay. Since I believe ForGG is apparently also back in Korea, from what some people were telling me. So just trying to minimize the amount of delay that the players have to deal with. We try to balance it, you know, if one player's in Europe and the other is in Korea, we play on America to just try to make it as fair as possible. So ForGG, though, in TVZ, he's going to be opened up with this fast gas. So it does look like he wants to go for the quick Reaper play. This map, kind of interesting for Reapers. You have a decent bit of space behind the natural to go for some pressure if you want. And then you can also zip, zap, zoop into the main base from a couple of locations. Now, this map, not really something that we see terribly much. Of course, like I said, the Acer TeamStory Cup has been going on for so long that some of these maps really feel outdated. Definitely not maps these players are used to playing on anymore. This team league started probably, was it like back in March or something crazy? It's been going for a long time, guys. So it's not we're not crazy enough to be throwing in outdated maps into the pool. It's just literally been that long that this tournament's been going on that these maps are, well, not really in the not really in the normal pools, but ForGG has been competing quite a bit recently. Unfortunately, he wasn't actually at the last stream hack, which kind of sucked. But I'm kind of interested to see what exactly going back to Korea is going to do for him as far as his play goes. Probably one of my personally more so favorite European Terrans, even though he's obviously not European. But his Reaper's going to get across the map. He's got a second Reaper queued up. He's going to cut SCVs off of gas. No, he's going to just keep mining it. So he wants to have a pretty fast transition into his factory. This Overlord will be able to spot the command center going up on the high ground. Scarlet sees it. The Reaper, though, it's in the main base of our Acer Zerg. And ForGG's going to dance around. He's going to try to find a little bit of a hole, maybe put some pressure on. There are 6 Zerglings. 2 more are coming out for Scarlet. So not really anything crazy going to be able to be done here from either player, I don't feel. Scarlet might try to get it surrounded that Reaper. No luck so far. 2 Lings coming in from the back. There's still 6 in the front. The Queen is out. And Scarlet choosing to go for no gas. I think kind of an interesting decision. Basically what she's saying is she doesn't need Zergling speed to deflect this. She wants to use just the Lings, just the Queens. And ForGG, he's going to be able to abuse this in some ways. You know, if Scarlet doesn't get the creep spread between her main and her natural, ForGG can dance around here, poke away at these Zerglings all day long. In fact, he's got a 3rd command center on the way, going for a nice greedy play. He does take out a Zergling there, so not bad at all. He's only got him in 1 unit. As long as he doesn't lose the Reapers, I mean, they're infinitely cost effective. If he doesn't lose them, they're very expensive, of course, but ooh, one of them, will get taken out sliding down the ramp. Not a fun way to go. Overlord's just kind of like, whatever, man. And most importantly, when your opponent isn't going for gas, Scarlet's just droning up so hard and now taking 3 gas geysers. When you know that your opponent isn't going for fast speed, you want to keep the map control in front of the base. You want to poke away at the Lings, poke away at the Queens, and use the Reaper's regeneration to just stay on top of things. But ForGG does not know about these extractors. So with 3 gas geysers, Scarlet could transition in some 2-base aggression if she wanted. This looks more like a pretty standard play. She could throw double evolution chambers up on these ramps and then go for 1-1, then start the lair and take the 3rd base. So there's a lot of options available. This map is known for being a bit harder to secure that 3rd quite as fast. ForGG can do a lot to put pressure here in the early stages. Now, he does have the factory and the reactor. He has a 3rd command center. Helium production will begin. So we should see ForGG just try to be as aggressive as possible about delaying this 3rd base. You know, keeping the drone from going over there. There's the double evolution chamber and the Zergling speed. So Pretty standard play from Scarlet. She is the kind of Zerg that might occasionally go for Roach Hydra. You know, it definitely not someone that's going to just stick purely to the Ling Bling Muta play the entire game. But there's the lair as well, and this is about as much as we expected. Just get the 1-1 going, get the lair, then get the third base. Once you have the creep out here to secure it, this Reaper can't hold this away forever. But the Hellions are going to try to run in. There's no queen to block the ramp. He wants to get this drone, though, and that's ForGG just trying to aggressively prevent this base from starting. He wants to delay the third as much as he can. These queens... she needs to keep the queens over here by this third base. The Reaper is still there, though, in case this drone does get by. And we see Scarlet trying to slip that by without the Zergling speed, though. It's so hard to stop that. Roach Warren is on the way, however. And there's that drone going in. Oh, the Hellions are going to zoom in from the right. Oh, another denial on that drone. And Scarlet, I mean, not only is she losing drones, but her third base is yet to start. ForGG's been on 3 command centers for... about a couple minutes now, and he's got a huge economy to back it up. Saturated at the main base, saturated at the natural. He should start these gas geysers. Actually, I guess he doesn't need to. His engineering bays are only just now beginning. He's gone for a pretty quick stim. He's going for what seems to be a fast bio follow-up. Behind this, he's kind of gone for the fast third command center. It gives him the extra minerals, allows him to power this production, but the slight delay on the upgrades could give Scarlet an edge as this game progresses forward. The 1-1 it's about to start for ForGG, but it's only about 60 seconds away for completing for Scarlet. Keep in mind, she is getting that range attack upgrade. She is going for the roaches, and that could be what we see here. No Hydralisk Den just yet from the Acer Zerg, so she does have the option to transition out of this, sort of like a Hyun-esque style. The 1-1 is done. The roach speed is on the way. Actually, these upgrades are all going to line up almost perfectly, so Scarlet could be going for a big 1-1 roach bust, and it's not a bad play. This is one of the harder builds to stop for a Terran player. Almost always requires siege tanks or a lot of bunkers, and this is... I like this build out of Scarlet quite a bit, especially considering that ForGG went for this third command center. She didn't scout that, but you know, there's only so many things that you can hide as far as what level of harass you're bringing. ForGG realizing the threat. He sees at the watchtower all these roaches. 3 bunkers are going to begin. Stim is done. Will ForGG be able to hold us off? The Marine Stim, the roaches pressing forward with that 1-1 immediately take out the front bunker, but it does look like ForGG is going to press this away, perhaps just long enough to get these bunkers together. The roaches are continuing to move in, though. ForGG needs to retreat. He needs to step back into these bunkers, and he should be able to hold this, but the 2-2 is started up for Scarlet. These bunkers are not done quite yet, though. ForGG needs to rush inside, and so he does. He will hold the attack off for now. Not bad. Economically speaking, he is doing quite well. 55 SCVs to 64 drones. With those mules, he's actually even possibly ahead in economy. Scarlet just now starting to saturate that third base, but the upgrade advantage is going to pan out very well for her. Trying to shut this base down as well. ForGG wants to catch these roaches outside his own third base, but Scarlet does have a lot here, and these Marines are continuously stimming. The Marauder and reinforcements have to be brought up to help hold this off. Scarlet doing quite a bit of damage with these roaches. I think ForGG getting a little bit brave here with some of the units that he's thrown away. I'm curious, do we have an armory yet? No, so ForGG's 1-1 is about to finish, but he's going to be delayed another 50 seconds before he can actually start his 2-2, which is quite significant considering that in 50 seconds, Scarlet is going to be very close to having her own 2-2. And this upgrade advantage for the Zerg can be huge. And Scarlet throwing down double Hydralisk Den. Where's the other Hydra Den? There's... yeah, okay, one in the natural, one in the main, fair enough. Infestation Pit as well, so Scarlet can move into something like Roach, Hydra, Viper. But ForGG's already been significantly damaged in the early phases of this game. However, that early production he had will allow him to stay even in supply. The real difference maker, though, is going to be just how he actually fares versus the Hydras once 2-2 are finished. Groove Spines are on the way. It does look like Scarlet canceled one of those accidental extra Hydralisk Dens. And Scarlet has her 4th base about to finish, so she's looking very solid. She's going to get out Infestors. Roach, Hydra, Infestor. Very powerful composition. The Fungals lock everything down. Those Marines won't have quite as much range as the Hydralisks, but ForGG now also getting to work on the creep. Very important. Remember, guys, Hydralisks on creep move about as fast as a stimmed Marine, so they've got quite a bit of speed on creep. And ForGG clearing this out is actually really nice. There's not enough here for Scarlet just yet to actually take this Bioforce out. She doesn't have the Fungals available yet. She cannot just pull these units in. We do have infestors coming out, but I don't think we have pathogen glands. No, there's no pathogen glands been researched by the Acer Zerg. So she's trying to just win this game with her upgrade advantage and her tech advantage, not necessarily as much longevity. But these infestors, once they have enough energy for fungals, I mean, without the fungals, Scarlet cannot engage this force. It's still a lot of bio despite the upgrade discrepancy. And 2-2 is on the way for ForGG. The Spire is starting up, though. And Scarlet's going to be able to start her 3-3 pretty damn soon. And this is where things can get really tricky for ForGG. Supply blocked as well. 2 depots do start up. Actually, third one now in this 4th command center. But ForGG hasn't built anything like the last 30 seconds because of this. We do have Widowmine production continuing to roll out, but 3 Widowmine production at a time, and aside from the supply block, and we are going to see some supply drops. ForGG realizing his production's been completely put on the side, and there are a good number of Widowmines here. Fungal growth will reveal a large clump of these, however. Unfortunately, ForGG hasn't really been able to put on any outside pressure. He hasn't been able to try to get any drops. Scarlet now getting up static defense. She's becoming very comfortable in this game, and this is not a position you want to be in. Ooh, nice couple of Widowmine shots, though, do hit these roaches. Great hits, actually, from ForGG, really softening up this roach ball, and that can be a lot of damage here. We have a good number of red roaches as far as the health goes, so if ForGG can get a good spread, he can almost engage this force. Now, Scarlet does have 16 more roaches on the way. ForGG maxing out, but the +3 attack is coming in for Scarlet. 2-2, not done just yet. ForGG does not want to engage with an upgrade disadvantage, but it looks like we may just have just that. The bio is spreading, and Scarlet realizes, okay, I can't take this until the rest of my roaches group up with my army, and now they are here, but the greater Spire is coming in as well. ForGG trying to keep this frontal pressure up. He's managed himself. He has the 4th command center landed. There's the planetary fortress now coming in, and he's continuing to take out this creep, which is so important. It helps out the infestors. It prevents the queens from moving forward as well, and ooh, Widowmine shots doing some more damage. There's a couple overseers here, but these mines are all going off, really softening up these roaches. ForGG, you know, it's kind of tricky. Kind of looking, it's like, when can ForGG honestly attack? And the answer is not really too soon. He has a lot of medevacs, he has a lot of bio, but if he charges up here and his army is clumped up, he will just almost insta-lose the game just to a couple of good fungal growths. So ForGG wants to play this patiently. He wants to secure his extra production. We actually have a big roach run by on the left side, preventing some of these additional barracks from going up. But at the same time, Scarlet's going to engage ForGG's army, fungaling a good bit of it, separated from the rest. There's a planetary on the right side, but ForGG realizing, okay, I actually cannot engage this just yet. He lost a lot of his units. Oh, ForGG, this command center's under fire. His army's going to try to sandwich on the planetary fortress. If he can get there in time, he might be able to kill this army, but the PF is dead. The bio has spread out, however, and this is a very nice position for ForGG. He's getting a lot of damage in here on Scarlet's army, and so many Marines, so many medevacs here. Jesus, it's like 12 medevacs healing this army up, and ForGG is going to slaughter this army of Scarlet. He has his 2-2. His 3-3 is on the way. The upgrade advantage is gone for Scarlet. She does have the Corruptors out. She does have the Greater Spire, but can she make Broodlords at this point with so much bio barreling down on her? I don't think so. I don't even think there's not even a Baneling nest in this map. There's not enough to actually stop this huge Marine ball for ForGG. He will be able to shut down this right side 4th base. And this hatchery, it's going to die. There's not really too much that Scarlet can do about this. More infestors are coming out, but without pathogen glands, Scarlet won't immediately have those fungal growths that she desperately needs to stop this army. In fact, she had 2 roaches building. They have a roach and an infestor building right under this bio, and these could end up just completing and getting owned, but no, she will lose those eggs. And that infestor does finish and immediately die, which kind of sucks. You consider that if the egg gets killed, you actually get refunded the cost of whatever's building. So a lot of people don't seem to know. But this 4th command center, ForGG may have lost it earlier, but he's more than made up for the loss. Continuing to scan forward, he sees the army. He sees that Scarlet does have Broodlords. And pretty much, if ForGG has enough bio, he can actually just stem an A move through this. The problem is the roaches are going to tank quite well. The infestors, ForGG just needs to make sure he doesn't do anything silly. As long as he doesn't underestimate the power of the Broodlords, he's in a very good position. And Widowmine getting off another shot. And well, here comes ForGG's bio army. He wants to deny this 4th base primarily, but his goal should be to juke out. Drop does get completely shut down in the main base of Scarlet, but ForGG really wants to just shut down the additional bases, starve Scarlet out. And right now with this setup, he can totally do it. We would still only have 2 Vikings at a time being produced, though, and that's kind of going to take a while. The Queens of Transfuses will be able to do a lot, but no, ForGG is going to go for it. He's got a really nice spread. There's not actually that many Broodlords. Will the Roaches be enough to hold this buffer? I'm not so sure that the Marine's about to get that 3-3 upgrade in just 10 seconds. I almost feel like ForGG should have waited, but the Transfuses are being spent. How many Marines are left to kill these Broodlords? It looks like there could be enough. The Hydras are going to run in as well to try to finish this off, and that's going to be enough to shove ForGG back. But Scarlet cannot afford to reproduce most of what she's lost in this army. Right, left side base is complete for Scarlet. There's a Changeling just kind of chilling. But ForGG, most importantly, has this right side base. And with the additional income, being able to drop the mules there, it's going to be so big. He can just produce Marines all day. We see he's got a lot of gas banked up, but I mean, at this point, he doesn't really, not really enough resources left on the map, or at least on his side of the field. He's got another base he can take on the left side, but this drop's going to try to shut down that hatchery. The Vikings are here. But ForGG wants to just kill this hatchery and just run away. That's primarily what he wants to do. He's going to stem. He's going to step up. Oh, if this infestor gets a fungal, no passaging glands. He actually cannot fungal anyway. And ForGG is just going to retreat. He's taking out the left side hatchery at the same time. He's just denying Scarlet's economy all day. And Scarlet's trying to build these supply heavy units, these roaches, these cost effective units in the infestors, but as long as ForGG has this base and Scarlet can't really mine, eventually he should be able to overwhelm her. The only thing that feels weird is that there's still just a single starport for ForGG. He's really not that interested in making a full commitment to the air because he's still scared of the potential switch into something like Ultralisks. I don't really think Scarlet can afford that though, so it's kind of interesting. There's the Queens here and Infestors. So some very cost-effective units. ForGG really doesn't want to engage that. In fact, he still have the drop running around trying to deny the left base. But eventually, ForGG will bank up enough Vikings to start really fighting against these. There's not too many Corruptors left. 3 more on the way, but Scarlet honestly cannot afford that many of them. Does throw a fungal down on that mine, but the mine gets an Infestor kill. And that Infestor almost had 2 fungals available, so very, very nice. And ForGG, he's going to start splitting up his army. He wants to just try to pick off the creep. But Scarlet, she could be looking to bait out an engagement here from this ForGG army. That was no longer an upgrade advantage for Scarlet. In fact, she never started her +3 Carapace. So these Marines and Marauders are going to go in here. One Infestor does fall on the right side. Nice pickoff. We'll get another Infestor. And the Roach Hydra Ball does stop this little attack. But ForGG, now he has the positional edge. Those Broodlords are so slow. He might be able to just run in here and kill off this hatchery. As soon as this hatchery dies, he needs to split the bio because here come the Infestors. That whole army of Scarlet is moving in on the top left side. But the Vikings are doing more than enough. There's still these 4 Broodlords adding in so much damage. The Infestors are coming up, trying to get a fungal. There's not enough energy. Oh man, no passaging glands. Really bites right now for Scarlet. This hatchery's only got a couple of hit points left. The Broodlords are going to slowly but surely fall. The Hydra's trying to target down the Vikings. The Transfuses are almost good enough. ForGG is losing a lot, but Scarlet is not going to have enough to hold all of this at bay. The last Broodlord is going to fall. And with that, potentially Scarlet's chances of winning this game. ForGG looking very solid here in game number 2 of our Acer TeamStory Cup match. He's going to press forward towards this 3rd base. Is he going to be able to end it right now? Another money fungal lands for Scarlet. And with more roaches coming out, she could potentially shove this back, but it doesn't seem that way. Blue is streaming across the field. More and more Marines sprinting. Man, it's like they're running for track. These guys just want to get straight to the finish line of this game. And without any energy, these Infestors are not going to be able to do anything at all to stop this. And here we go. The rest of the Vikings and Marines move up. GG ForGG. Taking game number 2 in this Acer TeamStory Cup match. It's a very nice play from ForGG, actually. You know, it seemed like things could get a little bit bleak when we saw the very big roach pressure with the upgrade advantage for Scarlet, but just a really, really solid play all around. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. So we are going to have, let me just update the score very quickly. We are going to have a 2-0 lead for Millenium. So we'll have to see who the next player for Acer is going to be. We're probably going to be switching. Okay, we're going to be going back to the North American server. So we're going to have to see who the next player will be, guys. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Acer TeamStory Cup. I am your English caster for today, Nathanias. It feels good to be back and casting some StarCraft for you guys.